Hello everyone. So today we're going to be taking this 2011 Vauxhall Insignia SRI on a test drive. And special thanks to Heron Auto, Opel and Kia, situated in Donegal Town, County Donegal. For all contact information in regards to the dealership, please see the description box below. So today we're going to get starting on the 2011 Vauxhall Insignia SRI test drive. This particular car has 40,022 miles on the clock so far. Apply the clutch and turn to get started. First off, a little bit of history on this car. The Insignia came out in 2009, replacing the Vectra. It's sold as an Opel Insignia in the Republic of Ireland and most of Europe, and only sold as the Vauxhall Insignia in the UK. And this car has also made its way over to the United States, Asia, Canada, and it's been sold in all them countries as the Buick Regal. Buick Regal is pretty much the exact same as this car, just one or two little changes, badges and one or two other little things such as the engines as well. My first impressions of the Insignia when it first came out, I thought it was a beautiful car, so it was. It was a massive step up from the Vectra, as I've said before in the past. This interior is a lovely place to be, but we'll get a little more onto that in a few moments, because now we are approaching the bypass, and we're going to see what the engine can do in this thing. The engine is a 2-litre turbo diesel. It produces 160 brake horsepower with a top speed of 137 miles per hour. It will do about 67 miles to the gallon, and it also produces 258 foot-pounds of torque. You can also choose to have this engine with 140 brake horsepower, and of course you can choose between a 6-speed manual and a 6-speed automatic transmission. Let's choose to have the Insignia as front or 4-wheel drive. Now originally I was meant to drive a 4-wheel drive Opel Insignia SRI in Summit White, but apparently that car has been valeted at the moment, so I took this one out. This particular one is front-wheel drive, but it's really nice to drive, so it is. The only criticism I have, and this was actually very common criticism with these Insignias during a lot of reviews I saw, is this gearbox can feel a little heavy at times, can feel just a bit clunky, as I'll demonstrate. If I just shift down, it just feels very heavy. Gear ratios are quite far apart. But saying that, it's not too bad really. If I think that's probably the only flaw with this car. It's really nice to drive, it's quiet in here, it's a good bit of feedback from the steering. I know some people said the steering had a bit too much feedback, it was very kind of edgy, but I don't really find that such a bad thing in this car. Maybe I'm just used to it because I've driven a bunch of these Insignias. But these sport seats as well are very nice. There's so much side bolstering in them, and also down here you have an adjustable leg rest, and seats are completely adjusted as well. You can adjust the height of them electrically, and the rest of the controls are manual. But well, so far this is a beautiful car to drive. Really like it. Okay, so we're going over a few bumpy roads at the moment. This time we're actually going on a different back road. It's a much longer one, and the ride quality so far seems to be okay. okay. I'll be able to tell you more about it and after going over some of these more bumpy patches. It has an independent McPherson strut suspension up front with a multi-link independent rear suspension. So the ride quality by right should be very good, and of course it will be much better than the old Vectra. So we'll go over a few of these bumpy patches I'm coming up to now, and you know what, I actually think this ride quality is quite good. I mean, I have driven a new Insignia and the ride on that is perfect, so it is. A couple of people, I believe, with the first generation Insignia said ride was just a little on the firm side, and you know, I think I can kind of feel it. It is just a little bit firm, but it's not uncomfortably firm. There is a difference there. Some when people hear firm ride, they think, oh, it's going to be terrible, you know, it's going to be spine shattering, but it's not really. It's not too bad. I mean, these rough patches I'm going over right now, the Insignia, you know, it's soaking them up quite well. It's quite a comfy car, and the steering response in these back roads is really good as well. The interior of these Insignias is very nice. Now this one being the SRI, it's even nicer. As you can see, I have the very nice sports bucket seats with adjustable leg rests. The seats themselves are very adjustable as well. It's very easy to get comfortable in them. It's a lovely interior. Got your automatic headlights, 4 electric windows, very nice black piano veneer finish. This tapers into the top of the dash where it splits in the middle and continues on around again. And of course you got your cruise control settings on the left and radio controls off to the right. The boot in the Insignia is very big as well. Of course, this being the 5-door liftback, it's much more accessible than the 4-door saloon. It's got 530 litres of room in here, and you can fit just about anything really in the back of this car. So I'm just on my way back to the dealership through town now, and I can sum up the Insignia very easily. It's a beautiful car. I think it looks great. This particular SRI is very good looking. The black colour on this car, by the way, is called Carbon Flash, just for those of you who would like to know. The interior of this car is a lovely place to be as well. The SRI sports seats are very, very comfortable and supportive. There's plenty of adjustment in them, as I said. It's got a nice thick leather wrapped steering wheel that's perforated on the left and right sides only. It's got very nice thumb grips. The driving position is very nice. It's got a good strong diesel engine. You can also have discovered a variety of petrols as well. I'll list them in the description box below. So as for the things the critics said about this car when it first came out, about the gearbox being a bit heavy and about the steering feeling very darty, I think is the word some of them used. I actually noticed them while driving this car. The gearbox, you know, in these old Insignias, it could have been a bit smoother, but it is much better now in the new one. The handling doesn't really bother me so much. I mean, I don't think there's much wrong with the steering. I like the fact that it's good and responsive, because when I was on them back roads there, I found a very good firm, responsive steering is definitely a must. Helps you get around the corners much easier. And the overall ride quality in this car is very good as well. Yet again, out in the back roads, I didn't find it very uncomfortable. At the same time, it was a little bit firm, but not uncomfortable. That's the key point there. So it's a really good car all around. It's very spacious. There's lots of room in the back. It's got a massive boot. If you're going to buy an Insignia, I would definitely recommend getting the 5-door liftback just for that extra bit of boot space. And it's not like it even costs that much more than a 4-door saloon equivalent. So I am well around these Insignias. I've reviewed nearly every version of the previous model which we have here. I've reviewed the SRIs, the test drive. I've really enjoyed driving this car, I know that for sure. And stay tuned, there'll be plenty more videos to come in the future. Thanks for watching, everyone.